Hey guys, my name is Vlad and welcome to SwissWatchExpo. In front of me I have three different generations of the Rolex Seadweller Deepsea in 44mm and we will dive into it. Welcome back guys, and Rolex as a brand, they always want to associate themselves with the best and with the highest achievements in human history, and that's why they was the first watch that was on the human wrist of the lady who swims through the La Manche Channel. They was the first watch that was associated with the people who was coming on the top of the Everest, and they also wanted to be the first watch that goes into the deepest part of the ocean. And that's why they introduced the Seadweller originally and then turned it into the Deepsea, the extremely deep diver. And up here we have like three generations of this watch, and let's start with first one. So it's 116660 model. I have it right here. It's a beautiful watch, and this is the first monster diver that Rolex created. So this watch was firstly introduced in 2008. And it was up to the standards for that time. The people wanted the bigger watches, Rolex gave them finally the bigger watch. So it's come in the 44mm case size. It's very thick and very big watch, and it was made to go up to 3,900 meters deep. So it's very deep measurements. This watch comes with like the at that time updated Cerachrome bezel. It's come in the 44mm case size, as I already mentioned. And the biggest things about this piece is that they created the 5.5mm thick crystal, and they make a model case for this watch. So that's why it can go so deep in the ocean. And the main thing we talk about up here is about the difference in generation. So let's start with the first of this model. So first of all, like it's a first iteration, it's come with 31-35 movements, which is have 55-hour power reserve. And the main difference between this watch and everything else that Rolex come up later is the dimension of the watch itself. So first of all, we have a 20mm lug-to-lug measurements that actually tempers to 18 closer to the clasp. So you have a little bit smaller and thinner clasp on this one, which also have this beautiful diver's extension that they call the FLIPLOCK diver's extension. You actually can adjust the size of the watch very much with this adjustment up here. Obviously, it's have a glide lock system, as all the Rolex Submariner of 6 digits have, and it's come with like the titanium case back too. So this is about the first generation. So the 31-35 movement, a little bit narrow bracelets, which a lot of Rolex collectors love, but some of they don't. So that's why in 126660 Rolex actually changed that. So this watch already comes with the new updated movement from Rolex. So it's 32-35, which Rolex stated they have a 90 fresh components in that movement. So the power reserve in that movement is up to 70-hour power reserve, which is very cool and in line with the nowadays watch movements from other brands that Rolex made it. And the main thing that Rolex work is actually dimensions of the watch. So they make the lugs a little bit bigger, and they actually make lug-to-lug distance to 21mm. So now Breitling is wider, and it's actually not tempers as much. So it go from 21 to 20 into the clasp, and the clasp overall is bigger. So the watch is more proportional and feel a little bit better on the wrist. You don't have like a big watch with narrow bracelet, you actually have a big watch with a proper bracelet on this one. So this model still comes with the diver's extension, the FLIPLOCK extension up here. So when you open it, you still see this diver's extension. They actually can flip lock and give you like almost 26mm of adjustment in a clasp. So the main thing about the second generation, Rolex work a lot of the technicality of the watch. They kind of like fine-tune it with the movement, with the case dimensions, with everything. But they still didn't feel that it's good enough. So in 2023, they actually come out with this model, which is 136660. And this watch does not have a lot of difference from 12 model because it still runs on the same movement, it still have the same case dimensions, but they just fine-tune all the elements to make the perfect deep diver watch. So first of all, what we're talking about, they are upscale the date window on this watch, 8%, but actually if you have the watch in your hands, it's very big visual difference between 12 model and 13 model. And also they make the bezel a little bit more narrow, so which leaves a little bit more room to the dial itself, which also look a little bit more proportional. After a lot of conversation with the clients, they actually decided to remove this diver extension from the watch because they actually figure out that not a lot of people die with those watches and a lot of people just remove this part from their bracelet. So they decided to just get rid of it all overall. So you have a glide lock system with all Submariners, but you don't have this flip lock diver's extension in this watch. So it's a beautiful timepiece, and it's with most current technologies from Rolex, also 70-hour power reserve. But the main thing that they decided to do on this watch, they make the full case back, it's titanium, which make the watch a little bit more lighter on the wrist, but also incorporate a lot of more technologies, which helps the watch to be more war resistant on this timepiece. So if you are in the market for the deep diver and you are a fan of a Deepsea from Rolex, we have all 3 generations of him at SwissWatchExpo. So you can give us a call, we can discuss it and find the best one for you.